I was sold when I was 6 years old because my parents wanted to protect my sisters. After 6 years of harsh treatment, I escaped. My parents knew the reality of what happened to girls that were sold, so they chose to sell their oldest boy, which was me. They said it was the only way to protect them and put food on the table, but knowing that didn't make any of it easier. I just felt that in their desperation to save our family they had decided I was worth sacrificing, as if my life was worthless. It didn't help that I was only 6 years old when it happened. Here is my story. After I was sold, I was taken to a lake with children who were also 6 years old. The oldest was only 10. We were all forced to do different tasks and we couldn't eat until we were done. I had to fish for 14 hours a day. So, every day for 14 long hours I was alone in the middle of that lake, silently begging that I wouldn't fall over, knowing full well that if I did, I'd drown because I didn't know how to swim. I prayed desperately that I wouldn't die from hunger or exhaustion like so many other kids before me. But the thing that scared me the most was not catching enough fish. If I came back without any fish, I knew I'd face another beating, more bruises, and go days without food. It was a vicious cycle, and every lash and punch just reminded me that I was trapped. I was trapped in a place where everyone around me was dropping like flies. Some drowned because none of us knew how to swim, and others were beaten senseless, either because they were easy targets or for entertainment. And the ones who got sick didn't stand a chance. It didn't matter how sick or weak we were still forced to work. Our owners didn't see us as humans anymore and they never batted an eye when one of us died. It felt like they knew that no matter how many of us dropped dead, they would be able to get more fresh meat. Every night, I wondered when my time would come and how I would go. I thought that I was done for when I developed infections after being forced to drink and bathe in the contaminated water, the same water where I watched the other children drown in. I was sure their bodies reside in the bottom of the lake, because our masters never wanted to give them a proper funeral. Their bodies were decomposing in the water and I was drinking that water because my masters didn't want to give me clean water. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have minded dying, but I survived and endured that torture for another 6 years. Update: a lot of you are asking how I escaped, so let me give you the story. When I was 12, the Many Hopes Foundation saved me and I was able to return to my hometown. I never thought I would make it out alive, and none of it seemed real because my hometown looked like a new place. So much had changed I wondered if I was in heaven. I finally had the chance to live my life as normally as I possibly could after enduring all that suffering. So, to get my life back on track I went to school for the first time in my entire life. I was 12 starting first grade. I was so behind, I didn't even know how to write my own name. Though this was a lot easier than what I had been through and I quickly realized that education was the only way to change my circumstances. So, I focused on my studies and caught up with the other students. The years went by pretty fast and as I grew older I knew that I wanted the other kids at the lake to get out and live a normal life, as I had. I wanted to let them know that there was a way for them to escape. So, I put a team of other lake survivors and began running rescue missions to rescue children still trapped on the lake. The rescue team is accompanied by armed military officers for our protection since the missions are often dangerous. The missions take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks and we rescue groups of 30. It's a new kind of joy knowing that we give every child we save a chance at a life they never thought would happen. I know that feeling all too well because I never thought I'd be able to escape either. When we pull those kids from the lake, I see myself in them. I can see the same fear in their eyes that I used to have. The fear of being drowned and beaten. I also see the pain they dealt with after watching everyone around them die and wondering when they will be next. They're feelings I carried with me for so long, but now I get to help take it away from them. These kids will never again have to experience the terrors they went through. They'll never have to worry about being trapped in a hell they didn't choose. Instead, they'll learn what it feels like to be safe and cared for. Update 2. Many of you want to help stop this from happening. The best way is to donate on the Many Hopes website. All their donations are used to save kids that come from situations from me.